Initially, he was, he was less talkative, and our dad never met a stranger, and he was having trouble verbalizing, what he wanted to say. So he would just default to one of his, I know that's right, or
that was a
like
good one
favorite.
too, because you can use that statement in
a lot,
a variety
and so
of ways.
it really did mask a lot of his symptoms, and it was harder for us to tell. His reaction time had slowed down a lot. He would bump into people at red lights and that kind of stuff. So he was not driving anymore. And so he would just leave the house if he had something to do, like he had a bill that he had to pay, and we found him like 5 miles away.
Yeah.
And then he was, just dressing like inappropriately for the weather.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't wearing
church
shoes
with no shirt,
and it was some interesting stuff. So we knew there was something going on.
We didn't know exactly what to do until he lost his job, and then we knew, we had to do something.
In the beginning, he was still living by himself, and we would go down and check on him, and we had people stay with him. So I would go down at least once a day and make sure he was eating and make sure that he was okay. And we would call him on the phone, and he wouldn't answer. We had to leave a voicemail. We had to threaten, like, if you don't pick up the phone, I'm coming down there.
Yeah, I remember
and then he
that.
would pick the phone up. So I think to begin with, he was frustrated because
he didn't know what was going on.
He didn't really know what was going on. We were having to feed him. We were having to, make sure that he was getting in the shower. And then it did progress to the point where we were, mainly Jenna, because she lived with him, was having to do everything. Shower him and change his clothes and brush his teeth, and then eventually he did become incontinent.
It's hard to just not be able to call him. Like, we would call him for everything. If we were lost in Charlotte, and all we had to do was pick up the phone, and he would say, "What building are you near?" And you would just tell him the building, and he would get you out of Charlotte, And it's just, Dad was our
He was
everything.
our person.
Yeah, he did everything for us.
He was always a very responsible man when it came to health insurance and that kind of stuff. And then he canceled it all. And then when he lost his job, he obviously didn't have health insurance after that. So, he canceled his life insurance policy and that kind of stuff. So we really didn't have anything, and he didn't have anything. We both knew that, the time is getting really close to when Dad is gonna go. I knew that hospice was a good thing, and I think I had already come to terms with it in my mind a little bit before, but I also wasn't there every single day taking care of him.
It just felt like I knew that it was the end, and
really, you don't want to find your own parent dead.
It was just a hard decision. It was because I didn't want to make the decision.
It was really hard. This was a guy that we had looked up to our whole life and
did everything for us.
He was gonna be gone.
Yeah, it was hard, but I knew that I needed help because I was struggling anyways. Because I have a 4-year-old, and he was there, and he would see me get frustrated and stressed, and so I just needed help.
it was something that would keep me up at night. Like, how am I have to be able to figure out how to pay for something for him, because I couldn't let my dad suffer. And like having hospice in the world.
Yeah, it really did. And they told me not to worry if we couldn't, and you know, we couldn't. They gave us the Angel Fund.
It was a huge burden lifted off of our shoulders, because
it meant that we could save our home, really, because, you know, with Dad, with not having the life insurance like he was supposed to have, and not really having any kind of savings, it just, you know, it would have been another bill on top of all the bills that we already have, and I would have essentially had to have sold the home. I don't know. It was a really hard decision, but I'm glad that we had the decision that the option that we could, you know, go to the Elizabeth House, and they were
Phenomenal.
stellar.
Going to Elizabeth House did mean that, you know, no longer are we the ones who are taking care of him, but there's somebody else we can call to take care of him, and it meant that we got to go through the grieving process ourselves of losing our dad as a family. And so we were able to like sit there with each other and cry on each other's shoulders, because we were losing our dad.
Nothing can bring him back, but hospice definitely helped us.
You know, even though he was sick, he was still here. It made the transition of going from not being able to talk to him. Yeah, he couldn't talk back, but we could say, "Hey Dad, I had a really bad day today." And now, you know, I mean, we can still say it, but we don't have a physical person here to say it to. And it made that transition just a lot easier. And I will forever be grateful for everybody that has donated to make that possible.
I would say thank you.
Yeah, definitely thank you.